Hi guys, it's April and I am here with the last and final Lunar Chronicles defacing. This is, of course, Winter, which is book 4 in the Lunar Chronicles. I have been struggling like you would not believe, trying to decide how I was going to do this cover. This is probably the hardest one for me to kind of figure out because all of the rest of them played off of their fairy tales fairly well, where Winter is a Snow White, but there isn't an apple per se. So I think the plan, before I get too far, let me share this out so that people know that we are live. But the plan here is I want to bring that galaxy stuff back. So I want to be able to have that galaxy night sky that I've been able to do in all of the other covers because I really want these to feel like they're cohesive. But that also means I can't necessarily run completely with the apple theme. So I decided that I want to play a little bit with the fact that a huge chunk of this book actually takes place on the moon. So I'm going to try and do maybe a lunar landscape, maybe with a future-inspired city. And then instead of having the moon kind of in the sky like I have for the last couple of books, I'm going to have the Earth up here. And I don't know if I'm even going to have the full sphere of the Earth. I might, hi Fia, I might have maybe part of the moon, or part of the Earth. So I'm going to play around with something kind of like that. And with that being said, I'm going to start copying in the base. So because I'm not 100% sure whether or not I want to do the full Earth, I'm going to use the black charcoal rather than the white to do my sphere. So it might not show up on camera, but it's something that I will be able to see and play off of, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, you can kind of see it. Hi, Shay. I think I kind of broke the lead on that pencil, but it's all good. Now, more towards the moonscape, I want to do something that's kind of rocky. I think kind of want a dip right here for reasons that'll make a little bit more sense when I get the city in place. I'm going to just kind of rough in an up and down, maybe, because I mean, I think I want to do it less smooth. Maybe I'll have something kind of probably end up making that a little bit more rough. Granted, this is just the outline right now, so it doesn't need to be perfect. And then because I want to put the city kind of in a dome. So this is where my city is going to be, kind of future-esque. Hi, Robin. Not entirely sure, because maybe we can bring some kind of shoom down there. Maybe just kind of have a rock. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. can, I'm wondering if that, oops, hit the camera, sorry about that. We can have some kind of, ooh, I don't know, crater or something. Maybe right there, tentatively. Might have another hill right here. And something right here. So I'm going to have to use a mix of whites and blacks, I think, to give this some kind of depth. But tentatively, something to, just gonna kind of maybe some kind of cityscape. That's kind of a rough of what we could do. I don't want to make it too final yet. But I like the idea that they have this dome. The real question is, how can I make the rest of this? Because I think I want to lay out the moonscape first. And then play a little bit with the galaxy. And then maybe do the Earth. And then I'll finalize. Because I think I want a little bit of the galaxy like peeking through behind the city. And the spires and all that. So I think I kind of just... I think this is going to be a slow buildup of all of this because it's going to be really easy to lose my lines. I might actually end up using up this whole piece of this chalk pastel. I mean, not that it's very big, but glad you guys are kind of seeing the vision with me. So like I said, this book was probably the hardest for me to figure out what I wanted to do. Because the first four just seemed to make sense to me. I had to get that Red Riding Hood cape in for Scarlet. I needed the satellite for Cress because that defined who Cress was. And then, of course, the city and the gears. Hi, Fia. Are you going to take over this live stream? But Winter. Winter is such a big book, and it's got so many things that come into play that it was hard to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. Okay, Kit Kat, you have to promise me that you're not going to step on the keyboard, because that will lead to all kinds of badness. Yes, that is the microphone. Gonna say hi. Just gonna get a tail now. What are you doing, little girl? No, don't lick the chalk pastels. Okay, I'm definitely gonna need some of, because I think I'm gonna go. Because it's almost like you have to take away the light to start forming things. You are making life so complicated, Cat. I love you. I did kind of say that I wanted to do maybe a crater right here. Just let me know when I can. Thank you, sweets. I'm gonna have to do all of this one-handed right now because she doesn't want to leave me alone. So right now, I'm holding her in my arms. Which I don't know if this is gonna work yet because I have to pick up the book so I can smear it correctly. I do love you. Let's see if I can do this. It is one thing getting used to these chalk pastels is there's not necessarily you can't get sharp lines. That's not how these were developed or why these were developed. I mean, that doesn't, for a first pass, I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, you can start seeing some of the details of that landscape. And it isn't necessarily perfect. What if we put another minor crater? Kind of right there. So your brain kind of has to put the pieces together. I need to remember which finger is my finger that I'm going to use for the white. And which one I'm using for the black. Because otherwise I'm just kind of getting tones of gray. Which I suppose we don't necessarily want pure white because that is not the moon. We need grays. Hey, that was my chalk pastel, you little snot. Where'd it go? You just had to knock it off the table, didn't you? Ow. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Fia. Sometimes she just needs to be the center of attention, and it's fine. I love her either way. Wondering if I want to bring that white down a little bit more. Kind of bring that a little bit in front of that piece. I kind of like this just random rock. Yeah. The real question is, just gonna use blue and white for the earth. Kind of like I did on the last one. I kind of rotate that. And the idea, maybe you almost need a piece of paper. Kind of like that. Oopsie. Kind of lost the spherical shape there, didn't I? Hold on, let me get a little bit more control with a eyeshadow brush. Feather that in there a little bit. I do. Let me see if I can get rid of that charcoal line. Now, I will have to be careful when I'm putting the stars on that I don't get any where the earth would be, because it wouldn't make sense for stars to appear on the shadowed part of the earth. Okay, but I do want to add in some clouds. Good. I think I'm gonna have to get that piece of paper back out so that I can put clouds on without accidentally getting it where I don't want it. If I remember right, this process is gonna take a little while because it takes a little bit to build up. White, at least to a place that I'm content with. Oh, welcome. I'm glad you like it. Lurk all you want. Like, I don't want blue to disappear. Too much. Kind of liking that. I mean, it's a very blue earth, but I don't have green in my color scheme, and I don't have yellow in my color scheme to make green. I mean, I could probably add a touch of red, maybe, and that would feel a little bit like the continents, the land masses, but I don't. Part of me just wants to leave it. So I might just leave it and see what happens after I add the galaxy in the background. I'm gonna take a drink of water real quick. Move that out of the way. I don't even know what this piece of paper. Oh, yes, I do. This is the list that I wrote my Copic colors on for the last hummingbird picture I did. I think you're right, Shay. I think I need to not touch it. It's a little bit more like Mercury right now, but I still like it. Okay. The question is, how do I want to do? Okay, I think that is true. I just know that sometimes you can see like little brownish specks. I mean, at least in pictures I've seen of the Earth from space. But maybe I'm just overthinking it, and this just leaves enough for you to realize what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of white. Good chunk of red. Didn't add white to the spine, so I'll add a little bit there. Probably want to do the bright blue. Definitely purple. Then the dark blue in there. This, of course, is only the first layer, so it's going to look a little sketchy as always. I feel like I have this part down at this point with doing a galaxy on all of the books. But I always find it interesting how it always turns out different. Each time. a little bit more color in the grooves so it doesn't look so disconnected over here. Start doing this in circle motions. Really want to pull some of that over there. I don't know how much of that you're actually seeing with the way the camera sometimes shifts contrast. Looking how I can fix that, or maybe if there's a better camera I want to use. I feel like I almost have too much blue in this galaxy. I can also tell that as these book covers have gone on, I've gotten very much more aggressive with adding colors and such, which I don't think is a bad thing. Ooh, I think I added too much red over there. I think we need to probably counteract with some dark blue and possibly a little bit of purple. Because we definitely want that earth to be the main focus over there. And I've also noticed that I have gotten a lot quicker with these. It's kind of like the Northern Lights, but on the moon. Okay, so what I usually do after I am done with these, I have a fixative. It's just a, oh, as I bump into the table. It's just a Mod Podge clear acrylic sealer. So this is what I use to fix it. I've got the other ones, and I mean, it fades the color just a little bit, which is why I think I've started adding so much more boldness to how I lay down the colors. But it seems to hold up fairly well. I mean, this is what I've used for years. It's how I fixed most of my art pieces. So that's what I usually take it outside and I just lay it on the patio. and then I just go to town and I spray it. And so far, it's held up. I want a little bit of go over those with. I just kind of want a little bit of the color in there too. So like the idea of, hey, maybe this is a clear dome. Definitely have to fix those spires for sure. Yeah, well, see, it's just a spray. So, I mean, normal Mod Podge wouldn't, because it would just end up smearing it if you're putting down a liquid Mod Podge. But since this is a spray, you just spray it down and it stays. I mean, it's just like using hairspray. So for years, in all of my art classes, when you're doing charcoal or chalk pastels, you used hairspray as a fixative because it just binds to the paper and it binds to the chalk particles and it keeps it on the paper. And so this is essentially the same thing. So I mean, as long as you use the Mod Podge with the spray, otherwise it's just gonna be a mess. Birthday buddy! I'm glad you could come and stop by. Okay, I think I wanna start maybe fixing a lot of this in. So what I want to do is kind of get the silhouette. I want to actually, this piece sticks out a little further. Why? I don't know. I just wanted to. It's like the central palace. Okay, so we kind of got the base of that down. I need to clean off my white a little bit. It's got tinge of red from my fingers. I don't necessarily want that in the city. And I want to give the dome a 3D look. So I'm gonna have to get a little inventive. Is this my white? I think this is my white. Actually, I think I want to. Hold on. It's like I want to try and keep somewhat of a distinct shape of these buildings. Which is why I was using the white charcoal to put it down. the idea of a dome means we probably have a little bit of a reflection, even if it is some magic future material. Hold on just a second, guys. Probably see if I can, might bring the, because I kind of want this dark line between this piece and the actual dome. I might have to cheat a little bit and get my, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna actually lay this down and I'll go back with my charcoal pencil and kind of give it that definition that I really, really want. There we go. So you can still kind of see the galaxy behind that white a little bit, but it's muted and warped a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll take this and make more of a defined line. I'm starting to think, with as much fun as I've been having with these chalk pastels, that I need to get some of the pastel pencils so I can get a little bit more of those defined lines instead of cheating and using my charcoal pencils. And then I'd have a whole range of colors to do this with. Okay, I was also going to start adding a little bit of depth to the city too. Need to make sure bring the white down and the black up. I think each time I create another one of these, I'm like, ooh, this one's my favorite. My favorite keeps on changing. And honestly, maybe at some point I'll take a picture with all of them together, and so you can kind of see how the style plays with each other. Question is, do I want to add a little bit of gray in there? Ooh, eat lots of food for me. I'm glad you could stop by and say hi. I get it. Food is life. Could sit here and tweak this all day. I really like that. Oh no, I haven't even started reading for Read-A-Rama yet. I won't lie. I got up maybe 2 hours ago, and so I spent the first hour of being conscious getting ready for this live stream, getting all of the pieces set up, and kind of realizing that my mouse had died. I'm trying to figure out if I could charge it for a little while, get the live stream started, and then plug it back into charge again, which is essentially what I'm doing right now. But my plan is sometime this afternoon start my binge reading, do a Instagram live read-in, and hopefully I can get a good handful of my books knocked off. Yeah, I'm starting to really like. Okay, so I won't lie, some of these concepts, it's not like I came out of the middle of nowhere for this. Okay, so I've been very embedded in the Doctor Who world recently. Been getting back on the Doctor Who kick. And so this is almost a little bit like the Citadels on Gallifrey, home of the Time Lords. Won't lie, that's kind of where I got the inspo for that from. I kind of warped it and twisted it and made it my own, but the concept of that circle dome, I had to because I thought it would play really well with how I've been playing with circles for this whole setup. And right now I'm really, really liking it. So next, what am I going to do? I think I need to start adding stars. So like I said, I need to make it so that I don't accidentally cover that. Yes, okay, so that should protect it. I've got a couple of handy dandy different Ziploc bags. I'm going to stand for this to make this easier. And see if I can, this piece might be too small to do this with. I'll do the spine after I kind of get this done. Okay. Remove that real quick. See if I can do this without accidentally. There we go. Perfect. We can trying to be very careful. There we go. And then get my Postca out. Might have to get a new Postca soon, at least in the 0.7 millimeter size. Because this thing is getting a lot of love. Just put it that way. Oof. Okay. Clean off the table too. Okay, I think I want to put a few over there, some of the dead space, so that you can get more of a feel of the dark side of the earth. This definitely doesn't like writing on hello, welcome. Chalk. Gonna do a few random direction shooting stars. I am super liking that. I don't know if there's much more I want to do to it. Because I just kind of like how organic it is. I do want to clean this up, table up a little bit. Let's see. Oh goodness. So you can get these out of the way. And this is mostly just going to end up smearing it into the grooves of the wood grain, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, that's the full view, and then it works when you have it open this way, and then it also works when you have it open. I just like how that ended up working out really, really nicely. Okay. Let's get all my colors all cleaned and laid out for you, because, you know, we have to have that final view of the picture. Yeah, I'm surprised that white, that little piece of white, lasted for all of these. I mean, that's only part of the white I had, but it was the small broken piece. I'm like, I'm gonna start with this one. But like I said, I am surprised it managed to last through 4 books. There we go. Because like I said, I've got this white still left, but the fact that that piece is all I used for the last 4 months. Okay, I think it is beautiful the way it is. This is probably, this one and Cress are probably my favorite defacings that I've done for this series. I think I was learning for Cinder and Scarlet, but Crest and Winter, I think I found what I was trying to do. And I think part of it is because Crest and Winter were all set completely outer space, where I was trying to do a kind of more landscapey, earthy landscape for the first 2. And it is totally possible. I was just trying to find my feet and how to use the materials and stuff like that. But I overall really, really like how this series came together. Like I said, at some point I might do a photo shoot series with all of them pieced together so that you can kind of see the full layout of all of it. But I want to thank all of you guys for hanging out with me today for this defacing. I think it turned out well, especially since it was the spur of the moment. Let's try something like this. Something new. I like it. I'm glad you guys like it as well and came and hung out with me and kept me talking and chatting. If you guys are participating in a Readerama, I hope to see you guys on Instagram later this evening. It's 5, 6 Central. Well, okay, so it's from 5 to 6 o'clock Central Time. Yeah, I figured people would like to see all of them together. So I will be live doing that today. And then, of course, I will be back here next Sunday at 11 Central. I'm thinking about doing one of Kirby's picture. I have stuff tentatively picked out. If I can grab it real quick. I've actually been thinking about doing this picture for a while, but I want to do the Sphinx page in Worlds Within Worlds. Thought it was appropriate. But I want to start that next weekend, next Sunday. So I hope you guys can join me, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I heart all of your beautiful faces. Bye.